I'll be covering the topic pre-engineered buildings. I'll be covering the topic on the following heads: introduction, what are pre-engineered buildings, the components of pre-engineered buildings, advantages, and conclusion. With some geographic industrial sectors, pre-engineered buildings are also called as pre-engineered metal buildings, or is becoming increasingly common due to reduced amount of the pre-engineering involved in the custom or the computational aided designs, simply engineered metal buildings. During 1960s, a standardized engineering designs for buildings were first marketed as PEBs. Historically, the primary framing structure of a pre-engineered building is an assembly of I-shaped members, often referred to as I-beams. During 1960s, standardized engineering designs for buildings were first marketed as PEBs. Historically, the framing structures of pre-engineered buildings is an assembly of I-shaped members, often referred to as I-beams. In pre-engineering buildings, the I-beams are usually formed by welding together steel plates to form an I-section. The I-beams are the field assembled with bolt connections to form an entire frame of pre-engineered buildings. Some manufacturers taper their framing members to the local loading effects. The large plate dimensions are used in areas of higher load effects. The other forms of primary framing can include trusses, mill sections, rather than three-plate welded. The choice of economic form can vary depending on the factors such as load capability and variations in metal versus labor cost. Typically, primary frames are 2D types using two-dimensional techniques. Advanced computational aided technology, materials and manufacturing capabilities have assisted the growth of alternate form of pre-engineered buildings such as tension fabric building, the more sophisticated analysis. The cold form Z and C shaped members may be used as secondary structural members. The rolled formed profile sheet, wood, tension fabric and precast concrete masonry block, glass curtain wall and the other materials can be used as external cladding of the building. With this small introduction, we will discuss what is pre-engineered building. Pre-engineered building is a metal building enclosed system that often involves structural framework and also involves roofing and wall cladding of a building and assembled in the factory premises. The main reason for adoption of PEB in India is the continued faith in conventional construction methods. PEB is manufactured using the raw metals available in all sources and the manufacturing methods that can effectively meet the wide range of structural and aesthetic design requirements. Historically, the primary structure of the pre-engineered buildings are assembly of I-shaped members, often referred to as I-beams. In pre-engineered buildings, the beam used is typically formed by welding the steel plate together and forming the I-segment. The government plans a many projects every year, such as the smart cities, malls, hospitals, the schools, bridges and metro stations, airports and many more. Such construction projects by the government are often used in the wide scale. Faster construction, cost effectiveness, reliability and reusability of the design versatility are main advantages of the PEB. From a basic structure to the complex high-rise structure, the PEB is built in the reputation. From a basic structure to the complex high-rise structure, PEB has built its reputation. Next, the components of PEB: primary frame, secondary structural elements, roof and wall panels, sandwich panels, and other accessories. Pre-engineered steel building is a portal frame structure consisting of a main and secondary frame and bracing system. The combination of these three components and whether covering the sheeting results in the robust steel buildings instead of individual frames. In case of modern structures, individual columns and trusses are individually built and free withstanding frames, resulting in bulky and heavier structure. The column rafter connection. The functional need of the framing system column to RS connection can be constructed with a number of ways. There are different merits and demerits in each portion of the rafter column system, as a steel consumption still continues to vary in each option, vary in column rafter connection. The functional need of the framing system column to RS connection can be constructed in a number of ways. There are different merits and demerits in each option of the rafter column system, as a steel consumption still continues to vary in each options. It is also important for the designer to opt for the economical relations unless there are any practical limitations. Secondary structural elements. The secondary framing system consists of primarily of purlin, Z and C shapes of various sizes. In pre-engineered buildings, usually cold form Z sections are used in secondary frames to achieve high strength and lower weight. Usually, cold process components used for roofing are called purlin, and for walls it is called as grit. Sometimes C section is offered use instead of Z purlin. The grit members who transfer forces and movements from one frame to another for the overall stability of the building. All acts as a weather covering system for the purpose of sheeting. Wall and roof panels, tin shades and curtains made of glass and roll shaped steel are typically come under this category for the transfer of wind force and other acting load from the building frame to the base of the certain interval X bracing system are used to change the direction of forces in order to reduce the impact of the forces. Sandwich panels. The sandwich panel consists of 3 layers which are non-aluminum core and is inserted between the 2 aluminum sheets. Accessories such as mezzanine flooring, bolts and insulations. Now I'll cover the advantages of pre-engineered buildings. Any PEB project could save time and money to the consumers that is critical in today's busy schedule. In pre-engineered constructions, after the manufacturing of all steel products by the manufacturer, all the products are shipped to the construction site. Installation can be done in a matter of days or weeks. Installation of prefabricated structures requires less labor, which results in less labor cost. The cycle of processing, transport and installation takes less time than the conventional construction. With this, I come to the end of the topic. I hope it will be beneficial for you all. Thank you so much. Jai Hind.